All right, wow, whew, right? Okay. We've had quite a day, right? And I'm sure your minds, like mine, especially after this one, are swimming in an ocean of ideas and inspiration. So before we transition to our final session, let's take a moment to breathe and reflect. For today's final artistic interlude, the Quick Center for the Arts and Sozo Artists will bring Hala Khouri back to the stage. Khouri is the co-founder of Off the Mat, Into the World. It's a training organization that bridges yoga and activism with the social justice framework. Originally from Beirut, Lebanon, she's dedicated her life to the study of trauma, justice, and building resilience. Khouri is trained in Somatic Experiencing, which is a body-based psychotherapy that helps resolve trauma and its symptoms. So pick out a comfy corner wherever you are, and let's all connect through some mindful meditation.
Hello everybody, we're going to take a little bit of a movement break together. So go ahead and stand up, find a spot where you have a little bit of room to move. And I want you to stand with your legs about wider than hip distance apart, maybe 3 feet apart. And let your knees. And take a moment to put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly or your solar plexus. And just check in. Notice how you're feeling right now, if your body wants to move, if you're feeling energized, if you're feeling a little bit tired. Just check in with yourself. We're going to do a little bit of movement to loosen up the shoulders and the hips and get us into our bodies before moving forward in the conference today. Take a few deep breaths. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice if you'd like to have your eyes closed or open. Whatever gets you into your body right now. And then release your hands and let your knees bend and slowly start to shift your weight side to side. I want you to feel your feet on the floor, the transfer of weight from one leg to the other. Let your shoulders be relaxed. Let your upper body just kind of move organically side to side here. Maybe you let your head sway, your shoulders move. Feel free to add your own flair to this, arm movements if you want. Nobody's looking, at least I don't think so. And then come back to center and get really grounded here. And we're gonna just let the arms flop around side to side. Engage your low belly muscles a little bit just to protect your lower back. You can let yourself sigh it out whenever you want. This is what I call a self-tenderizing sequence. It's one of my favorites. Then you're going to take your hands and karate chop your shoulders. You might notice that the shoulders are a little bit tight here. Couple more. Good, and then come back to center. Take your hands and we're going to tap the top of the head. You might find some tender spots that need a little extra love. And then take your fingers to your temples, to your forehead, underneath your eyes, out to your jaw. And then take your fingers to the center of your chest, pounding it out here. And then your thumbs out to some of your lung points. Good, and then take your backs of your hands to your lower back, kidneys and adrenals here. And then take your fists to the outsides of your legs. And then to the inseam of your legs. And you might go down and up the back of your legs, see if that's comfortable for you. And then come on up, we're gonna do our hips. You gotta kind of wiggle your hips here side to side. This is my favorite one. And then take your hands, cup your hands and go up and down each arm. And then the other side. Good, and then just shake your hands out, your wrists. And then we're just gonna shake out the shoulders. Give it some sound here. Shake them out. Shake out your right ankle. your right knee and your thigh, your left ankle, knee and thigh. And here's the last one. Bend and straighten your knees and shake out everything. And then take your feet wide again and pause here a moment. As you inhale, the arms rise. And as you exhale, let the arms fall. Imagine like you were drawing a snow angel, laying on your back, feeling the back body as you move. Stay really grounded. One more. And then from here, take the right arm up as you inhale and take a gentle side bend as you exhale. Slowly come on up and switch sides. Keep your knees bent generously. One more to each side here. Notice which movements feel good, which movements you might need to back away from. And then come on back to center and roll the shoulders a few times. Good, we're going to take a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. I'm going to place your hands on your hips, then you're going to turn your right leg out and your left toes in. Feet are hip distance apart. Take a breath and just lean forward a bit. Pull your right hip back. You could also have your hands on a chair here. The point here is to get a stretch in the right hamstring, the back of the right leg. So keep your feet plugged into the earth, your spine long. Feel free to bend the knee if this is a bit much. And then press into your feet and come up. Now bend the front knee and step the back leg back. We're coming into a little bit of a lunge here, hands on your hips. The back knee is bent, and then you're going to extend it straight and then bend it. Just do this a couple times. These hip flexors will get really tight if we're sitting a lot. Reach the arms up here and just take 2 breaths here. One more breath. Good, straighten the leg, parallel your feet. Pause a moment here. Take a breath. And then turn the left leg out and the right toes in. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Spread your toes. Imagine plugging your feet into the ground. Take a breath, and then the left hip is going to pull back as you come forward. Once you're getting a stretch, you have arrived at your destination. Remember, you can use a chair in front of you. Breathe into the area that you're stretching. And then come on up and bend the front knee and step the back leg back to your lunge. Hands on hips. And then maybe you straighten the back leg a bit and then bring it back in. You probably feel the stretch in the top of the right thigh. And then reach the arms up. Find the version of this that feels good right now. Nice deep breaths here. Good, come on up and come back to center. Parallel your feet and pause a moment. And then bring your heels in and your toes out. Bend your knees and bring your hands to the insides of the legs. You can let your shoulders come up to your ears for a moment here. Take your right shoulder to the midline. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Come back to center. Press down into your feet and roll it up. Let's do this twice more. Arching as you come down. Round and roll up. One more. Good. Bring your legs back together so they're about hip distance apart. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your solar plexus. Pause a moment here. Notice how you're feeling now just from those simple movements. Good, and then we're going to have a seat for one final piece here. So you're going to sit cross-legged. You can sit in a chair, whatever works for you. You can sit on a cushion. We're just going to take the ribs and rotate them to the right a few times. Doesn't have to be a big movement. Just working on our spinal mobility here. And then go in the other direction. And then come back to center. Sit up really tall. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Really slowly bring your chin to your chest. Left ear to left shoulder. And chin to your chest. And just pause here a moment. Let your spine be long. Let your chin drop a little bit. Your eyes can close or you can soften your gaze. Imagine your breath moving up and down your spine. Find a rhythm in your breathing that feels good. To the best that you can, let your mind settle. Simply be with the rhythm of your breath. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you so much, everybody.